Hello, and welcome back to episode 7 of Start Your Spark, the online entrepreneurial program that helps you develop your first business. So today we are moving on to the second part of my framework, SPARK. And now we're on the innovation stage, from imagination to innovation. We are going to begin with the letter P, which stands for pace. For me, my philosophy in life is that pacing yourself in business, in whatever you do, is very important for your success. So let me begin with a story that convinces you the importance of pacing yourself. You know, I always like to parallel life with a highway and each individual person to the cars on the highway. You know, normally there are speed limits to the highway. You could go 60 miles per hour, 70, 80, 90 max. Yet, many of us go at 120, 150 on the highway. And when you're driving, you look out the window and you see people right around you driving just as fast to you. You know the relativity of speed? How once you are driving very fast and other people are driving very fast, it seems like you both are going very slowly. Well, I think that's how life works. It's when you look around the window and you see everyone around you, you feel like you have to be just as fast as them. You have to be just as accomplished as them. You have to be just as successful as them at the same time in the same day. Yet, an interesting thing is, when you look out the window, you see the other cars around you. When you stand in society, you see the other people around you. However, when you are going on that highway in your car at 120 miles per hour, you could see the trees moving very fast around you. So even though you are seeing the other cars around you as quite clearly and they're moving quite slowly relative to you, you can understand the pace that you are going at when you see the trees, the flowers, the building disappearing around you. And that is the whole purpose of living life. It's to view beautiful things. It's to see beautiful landscapes. It's to be able to enjoy things peacefully and slowly. And that's why I think it's so important to drive slowly sometimes, to take life with a pinch of salt, to go very slowly in your business, because that incremental change, that step-by-step process is what's going to lead you to your ultimate success. So today we are going to go through 3 important parts of the story and pace. First, I would like to tackle the idea of how to plan with precision, because good pacing always comes from a good plan. Step 2, I'm going to talk about how to go step by step. So actually, when you have a plan, how do you follow through with such a plan? And part 3, last and most importantly of all, how do we make sure that we are patient enough to follow the plan? Because usually we are fast-minded people. We want to get things done. We want to see results quickly. So what should we do to tell our brains to calm down? Let's go slowly, because then we can see the most beautiful views and we can understand the best way to drive our business forward. So let's begin with part 1, how to plan with precision. As I mentioned in previous episodes, if you want to look at my planning episode, you can go back to episode 5, which is about time. However, I'm going to briefly reiterate some things I talked about. I think one of the best methods and instruments you can use for planning is Google Calendar. This is something I use myself, and it's very good if you pinpoint some of the meetings that you have with board members, some tasks and deadlines that you must get done, because a calendar makes it so much easier to schedule a day and also to schedule where you want to go in your business. It is very important to set deadlines because they give you the opportunity for something visual, to realize that, hey, here is where I need to get to by this amount of time. It gives you a clear roadmap to where you want to go. And when you're driving in that car and you're very lost, you must look at the roadmap, because that is the direction that is truly guiding you towards your success. And another thing which is really important is not to just set deadlines. Deadlines are very important, yet they make you feel like, oh, I'm very stressed. And this inherent stress could be deduced by setting mere checkpoints along the way, because your business could be seen as a timeline. The deadline, the finish line, could be years in advance. Yet each individual checkpoint might be a good way to tell yourself, am I on track to becoming successful? Am I on track to making money in my business? Am I on track to helping X amount of people? These little checkpoints could be the things that tell you, hey, I'm on the right path, and it's okay to take it step by step. And lastly, the most important thing, in my opinion, is to break it down. To have large goals in mind, yet small sub-action points. Let's say one of the things you want to do is to grow your revenue by 100,000 this year. Yet there are definitely small action points that you can pinpoint below that you can make sure that you get done. For example, you need to get this product out. You need to market it to X amount of people. You need to pay this much for a social media designer to reach that goal of 100,000 in revenue. So to break it down in little actionable steps is a perfect way to precisely plan the direction that your business is heading, and to give yourself a roadmap to say, hey, it's okay if I meet this checkpoint at this time, that I can meet that one at that time. Moving on to part 2. So this part is all about how to go step by step. One of the most key points in your business is that you have to prioritize. One of the things that comes with prioritizing is leaving other things out. And one of the things that comes with leaving things out is that you realize some things you need to outsource, but some things you need to get rid of completely. Such as, let's say you are trying to make a YouTube channel. That is the business that you're trying to grow. It is content creation, right? And things that you can outsource are things such as video editing. You could pay people to do that. And if you look at currency, it's very important to look at currency. Let's say you are being paid in British pounds, and yet you can outsource to a person who is paid in Indian rupees, right? So £1 might equal 60, 70, 600, 700 rupees. In that sense, you could pay the person very well, the person who is doing your video editing, while not biting in or leaning into a lot of your own income, because relative to them, it is a good amount of money that you're paying them 600, 700 rupees, for example, but relative to you, paying them 60, 70 pounds is all right of a change. So prioritize could go through outsourcing, but also there are some things at this stage that you can't do. Let's say you are genuinely not making any income and you must get out, let's say, a video by tomorrow. Some things that you should not focus on is designing the thumbnail, even video editing outsourcing because you don't have any money to do so. These things are trivial compared to you sitting down and actually recording the video. So realizing what is priority is very important. Another good thing I like to do is literally open an empty Word document. Then I write down every single thing that I need to do. First by most important, second by least important, then third by even less important. Something like that would give you a good, clear goal and a good, clear plan, honestly, to go along with pacing yourself for your business. So last of all, let's talk about the psychology of a person. One of the most interesting things is when I mentioned in my story about you looking around to people around you and realizing that they are going at such a fast pace, this is really going to hurt you because you feel like you must keep up with them. There's a psychological barrier to all of us to go against the status quo of society. The status quo of society is that we need to work 8 hours, 9 hours a day from 9 to 5. And we need to make a certain number of X income, or else we're not accepted into society. But just know that many people are not an overnight success. And to build that sort of success takes years and years and years of work. And it's okay to take time. It's okay to understand that, hey, I'm building a business from the ground up, and that is a very difficult thing to do. And you look at the people around you. Lionel Messi said, it took me 17 years, 144 days of hard work to become an overnight success. So if you can take some advice and take some inspiration from Lionel Messi, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to slow down. Sometimes even along this journey of this highway that you're going down in your car, you might realize that when you slow down, you can see more beautiful views. And that is what I want to tell you. It's not that if you rush forward and reach the finish line of success first, that is the best thing to do, because sometimes you use up all the health that you are given. You have very bad health, you have a very bad back, you have very bad vision. Sometimes you use other relationships around you, the social relationships that are keeping you together. Maybe you lost your wife or your husband. Maybe several children left you along the way because you abandoned. There are some give and takes in this world. And for a business to be successful, I do think one's psychology needs to be stable. So to briefly recap the 3 parts that we went through today. First of all, plan with precision, to use Google Calendar. This is a very good thing to use, and I genuinely recommend you to try it out. Second, to go step by step, I recommend listing all your tasks 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 9 in prioritizing them so you can see which ones you want to get done first, and to embrace an emotional change, to say that it is okay to take a step back, and it's okay for me to take my foot off the pedal, because life is not that deep after all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.